Hello and good afternoon, or even good morning if you're over in the USA. Um, it's Monday the 1st of April here, and first it's probably Monday the 1st of April everywhere. And in England, it's also known as April Fool's Day. And this is a chance that if you are that way inclined, you can play practical jokes and pranks on people. And I'm always interested in what other people are doing, and this is a bit of a loaded question because it's a beautiful spring day here in England, and I've just been outside cutting wood. Now, not cutting wood to burn on the fire because we don't have a wood burning fire or a coal, solid fuel fire. But cutting wood to repair a table. And some of you will know that I take part in medieval reenactment, and with the spring upon us, it's that season again, and we're off to Leeds this weekend to do a medieval event at Leeds Armoury. And so today was the day to fix the table. And it got me thinking about one of the topics that keeps coming up through and through with all sorts of people in different walks of life on the internet, in marketing. It's procrastination. And I know this wasn't going to be the topic of today's talk and session, but it's just worth mentioning it that procrastination happens to all of us in pretty much everything we do, because hands up, guilty as proven. I've had since last August to fix this table. Have I done it? No. I've thought about it many times. It's sat there. We keep all the stuff in a trailer. It's sat there waiting, and I keep thinking, I'll do it. And yes, procrastination is rife even in the world of medieval reenactment. So on today's show, I said I'd talk about three things. And that first one is the name of the show. Now, originally, when I was launching this, I was thinking about productivity in businesses, and so hence the title, The Productivity Show. One of the things that I've been doing a lot of in the last probably 6 months is in corporate life, working with IT development teams on the way they implement and use Agile. Agile is a completely different way of working, because instead of projects being done in a waterfall sense, in the sense that these tasks are done sequentially, one after the other, very heavy in documentation, very heavy in getting designs done before we release a product. Agile is very, very different. And if you're on LinkedIn and connected with me, you'll see much more about the Agile way of working over on LinkedIn. Agile. And in fact, we're just about to launch a whole series of training courses geared up for people who want to work in an Agile way. Agile's not new. It's been around for decades. In fact, I was working in this Agile way probably over 30 years ago when I first got involved in IT, developing software. And so it's my intention that after this will be the last of our productivity shows. But what I'm going to do is rename this show and call it the Business Agility Show, because it doesn't matter whether you are a corporate business with a big IT department, or whether you're a small tech business and developing software, or it might even be hardware that you're developing, or as some of the people who are listening to this show are, you're working on your own, you are your business, but nevertheless, you are still delivering a product to your customer. The most important thing you do, though, is get that product in front of your customer. And again, I was thinking about this over the weekend. I've created a page on my website, and it's called Training, and there's 6 training courses mapped out. And in my head, I'm thinking, right, for each one of those, I need a separate page. I need a text description on there. I need a video on there. And I need a call to action on the bottom for somewhere to to click so you can go and find out more or book an appointment with me. And so in my mind, I'm now creating this massive, massive monster that I have to get done before it goes live. No. What I've done is created a single page with each of those 6 options on and publish that page. This is where I'm going with this show, is helping you get your product out to market quickly so that value can be delivered, one, to your customer so they get something quickly and they can start using it. That's where the value is. And also, if it's something that you're charging people for, you start to get some money in. Now, there are people who are far more qualified, experienced, able to talk to you about the ins and outs of internet marketing. But in terms of actually getting that product developed, finished and out, then that's something I can help you with. So from here on in, the show is going to be called the Business Agility Show. And I was invited to an event this week, which was all to do with technical businesses in manufacturing. And there's a whole range of business there, well-established businesses and new startup businesses. And they all face one common problem. There's probably many problems, but one of the most common problems they all face is, in this day and age, which we call in the 4th Industrial Revolution, their biggest challenge and threat is from automation, it's from artificial intelligence, and if you're in retail, it's competition. The competition is absolutely massive. Those people that win are generally those people who get their product out to market as fast as they can and can adapt to change in the most efficient and positive way. Now, again, if you've been listening to me over the months and you've followed me for some time, you'll know one of the things I'm passionate about is change. I've worked in change probably for over 30 years. But change comes in many, many different forms, because you've got corporate change, you've got organizational change, but it's also the change that we need to make as individuals to enable us to get to where we want to get to. So this is the blurring line between, in my world, between consulting in tech businesses, but also that personal development space where I can help people change this thing up here, their mindset. So I said also, I'll talk to you a little bit about the Agile Mindset. Now, without getting into the details and semantics of how Agile works, one of the things that the Agile people talk about is the Agile Mindset. But of course, if you've looked around on the internet today, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, you will see hundreds, probably thousands of people talking about mindset. But who actually knows what mindset is? Because I've done a whole series of training, probably about 6 or 7 years ago, which is all around the way we develop this thing called mindset. And mindset's made up a whole bunch of different things. It's made up of our beliefs, our values, our experiences. And that's the subject of a much bigger area and wider piece that I really don't have time to go into today. But if you want to find out more about mindset, then of course, just drop me a message. We have actually got a free training course that will teach you a little bit more about it, but that's not the purpose of today's show. Now, we're talking about being agile and being able to get our product in front of our customer as quickly, as efficiently as we possibly can to deliver value and also maximize return on investment. Return on investment being how much money you can get in, when you can get it, and the actual benefit to the customer once they've made that investment. Excuse me. One of the biggest challenges we have in being agile and adopting that agile mindset is the limitations that we impose on ourselves, and usually things that are occurring between there and there. In other words, it's that internal self-dialogue that often stops us dead. So what I'd love to hear from you about is, what's the biggest challenge that you're facing in terms of getting your product, or if it's a service, because both of those are valid things and the agile way works both for services and for products. What's the biggest challenge that you're having in getting your product out to the customer that's affecting, one, the value you deliver to them, but also affecting the revenue that you get in. So think about that challenge. What is it? Now, that challenge could be coming from a number of different sources. It could be because of something you believe. You know, I was in a situation once where I believed I probably wouldn't work again. However, we got over that. It could be a challenge in terms of actually getting something technical out to the customer, because I know a lot of people who read what I do, they follow me. They're not technical people, they're not technicians. Their skill is in something else. It's around writing, it's about marketing, but it's that technical stuff that often stops us dead in our tracks, particularly if you're new to launching a business online and running a business online. So as I say, what I'd really love to hear about is what your big challenge is in becoming more agile and getting a working product, and hence I emphasize a working product, not the actual finished product, but the working product out to your customer so that they can start using it. What I also want to hear is your feedback about the new name for the show. And as far as I can at the moment, I'm going to stick with Mondays, purely because it works for me. But the time over the next few weeks might be a little bit fluid. We've got Easter coming up, and there won't be a show on Easter Monday. I'll be off up in the Lake District with camping gear and canoes and stuff like that, with no internet connections. So much as I'd love to do this show from the middle of Allswater from my canoe, that's highly unlikely because there's no internet signal there. But what I will do is I'll publish in the group the revised date and time. We'll probably do it on the Tuesday or Wednesday. So drop your comments into the comment box and let me know what the biggest challenge is in you getting your product out to your customer. This is Chris Hallett from the newly named Business Agility Show. I look forward to seeing and hearing from you soon. Thanks.